Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today what we got for you are the 5 hardest missions in GTA San Andreas. Now, I'm going to make a promise to you guys. If we can break 2,000 likes on this video, I will turn this into a series. If you guys want to see me cover the hardest missions in every Grand Theft Auto game, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and let me know down below in the comments, what do you think are the hardest missions in GTA San Andreas? I'm going to read through every single one of your comments, but I thought this would be a really cool topic to discuss, as I have talked about before the hardest missions in the GTA series. I've made a list of that, but within every Grand Theft Auto game, there are tons of very, very hard missions. When I played through these missions as a kid, they were even harder than they were nowadays, but for some reason, as I've gotten older, these missions have gotten easier. So, can you guys relate to that? Let me know down below. But with that said, here we are with the 5 hardest missions in GTA San Andreas. Number 5, Vertical Bird. So, this is a mission given to us by Mike Torino. It starts out with CJ. He's at this mansion that we've just taken back from the Vagos, hanging out with Kent Paul, Macker, and Mad Dog. Mad Dog's in the studio recording some songs, and all of a sudden the music cuts out, and on the intercom comes Mike Torino's voice. He demands that Carl meet him outside if he ever wants to see his brother again. And basically what Mike Torino does is tell CJ that he is going to break onto a military battleship. He's going to steal a Hydra and take it back to a hangar. And from Mike Torino's description, he makes it seem very simple. He says, oh, there's nothing to it. You're going to be getting a blowjob and a bologna sandwich by the end of the day. You're going to be perfectly fine. And Carl is distraught. He's angry. He's mad. He thinks he's probably going to die. And what we have to do is we have to break into this battleship. You can either blast your way through or you can sneak through, disable some SAM sites. That way you don't get shot down when you steal this Hydra. And then you take the Hydra, and you're supposed to bring it back to a hangar. But the thing is, once you get the Hydra, another group of military Hydras are actually dispatched to shoot you down. You've got like 3 Hydras on your tail that you have to take out. After you do that, you've got to actually take out a fleet of spy ships on the ground or in the water. You've got to take them guys out. And after you do that, you can return to the airstrip in Las Venturas or out in the desert, and you complete the mission. But what makes it so difficult is just the fact that you've got to sneak onto the ship, you've got to take out all the enemies, you've got to take the jet, you've got to take out the other jets trying to take you out, and then you've got to take out the spy ships. And fun fact, this is the only mission in GTA San Andreas, aside from like the triathlon, that actually takes you across all 3 cities. It starts out in Los Santos, it takes you to San Fierro, where you steal the jet, and then you land it in the Las Venturas desert. Number 4, learning to fly. So this is another mission, once again, given to us by Mike Torino, this just very slimy character like I mentioned before. He is using CJ's brother Sweet as leverage to get CJ to do all these things, because Sweet is actually in an upstate prison and Mike has the power to get him out, but he wants CJ to do some dirty work for him before he actually bails him out of this prison and releases him back to CJ and back to freedom. So what happens is, after you purchase the Verdant Meadows airfield, this is way out there in the desert, Mike Torino actually calls us and says that, hey, we're going to be taking some flying lessons. And initially we refused this. We're like, no, we're not doing this. But once again, Mike Torino says, if you want to see your brother again, well, you're going to take these flying lessons and you're going to do this. So he goes on to say that he set up this like TV screen with these 10 lessons that we have to complete to see Sweet again, and for CJ to get his pilot's license, basically. So flying in the game is very, very easy to do. It's something to get the hang of. But with this mission where you actually have to supposedly learn to fly, with air quotations around that, the missions are very, very difficult. I always had such a hard time doing this, and the worst thing about it is this is required to continue the storyline. So this is one of those missions that's kind of hard, because the controls, they're not as simple as they usually are. The planes, they feel like they're very lighter. They turn too quick. They turn too easy. They're easy to crash. And ultimately, it makes for a rage-inducing time. I was stuck on these missions for months, years ago when I was a kid when this game first came out, because honestly, honestly, they were hard. It's something that should be so simple, but it is very, very hard. And you can actually slow play and not really do these missions for a long time. Mike Torino will call us on 3 different instances, giving us kind of some motivational speeches, saying that we need to quit being scared and just get these missions over with. Number 3, wrong side of the tracks. So I've talked about this mission more times than I would have liked to on the channel, but this one has really solidified itself in the GTA history as one of the hardest missions ever. And what's ironic is this should really actually be one of the most simple missions ever. So what the whole premise is, or the whole premise of the mission is, CJ and Big Smoke, they get on a Sanchez motorbike and they have to get next to a train, follow it, and take out some Vagos who are on the top of it, some rival gang members. And there's like 4 Vagos on the top of this train shooting back at us. We're driving the motorcycle, and Big Smoke is shooting the Vagos. And the thing is, Big Smoke has very, very bad aim. Not only do we have to keep up with the front of the train, we've got to keep Big Smoke in a line to where he can actually shoot these guys. But like I said before, his aim is very, very off. And it's very bad. And while trying to keep up with the train, we also have to dodge obstacles in the way, like other trains coming towards us, cars randomly pulling out in front of us on the railroad tracks. It's just a mess. And like I said, what should be a very simple mission is actually very difficult. And as a result of this mission, we have one of the most famous lines in the GTA series, and it's Big Smoke saying, "CJ, all you had to do was follow the damn train." And he says this once we fail this very, very, what's supposed to be easy, but hard mission. Number 2, you've had your chips. So this is actually a pretty cool mission, but it's kind of difficult. So the whole premise of this is CJ and Woozie are inside Woozie's office. They're playing some blackjack, and Woozie's bodyguard comes in. His name is Guppy, and he basically presents 2 poker chips to Woozie. And Woozie's a blind man, and it's funny because he says they're fake. And Carl's like, "What? You're blind? How did you know that?" And he said he was just guessing, and he happened to be right. So what happens is the Sindaco family, who is a rival family to Woozie and pretty much everybody else in GTA San Andreas, they actually own a plastic factory. And Woozie assumes that they are responsible for this. They own a plastic factory, and they can easily produce these fake poker chips. So he sends CJ over to the Sindaco factory to pretty much destroy the factory, kill everybody in there, and make sure that these fake chips are no longer being distributed in his casino. And once we actually get to this factory, the entrance is guarded. We have to find another way in. Once we do, 2 guards inside actually recognize us, and they notify everybody in this factory. So we've got a lot of angry guys trying to kill us now. And what makes this mission so hard is we have all these guys shooting at us, and some of them actually have a combat shotgun, which it proves to be very overpowered numerous times throughout San Andreas. So trying to stay alive while you've got guys with pistols shooting at you isn't too bad. But while you've got numerous guys with combat shotguns unloading on you, that's where it gets a little bit overpowered, and it can be very, very difficult. And number 1, you probably guessed it, but if not, it's supply lines. This is a mission given to us by Zero. Zero's a character in San Andreas that he's a pretty funny guy in the cutscenes. He's a big old nerd. He seems like a cool guy, okay? But the thing is, Zero is also one of the most hated characters in the GTA series, or maybe just GTA San Andreas, because despite him being an okay character, he gives the worst, most hard missions ever. They are very hard, they're very difficult, they're very rage-inducing. I actually broke a controller way back in the day playing this. I was a kid, I got mad, I threw my controller, okay? No, not a big deal, I got a new one. But the thing is, supply lines is very, very difficult. What you have to do in this mission is take an RC airplane, and might I add that the RC controls for any RC vehicle in the GTA series suck. They're very hard to maneuver, very hard to control, and just drive around. So not only do we have that, but we have to fly around San Fierro, and we've got to take out what I think it's 3 vans. And we've got to destroy these with these miniguns attached to this airplane, okay? Seems pretty simple, right? Well, you can spook these guys in the vans, so they will drive off. They'll be driving around trying to get away from you, and you have this RC airplane with horrible controls that you're trying to shoot at this van that's driving away from you. But the thing is, you also have a fuel meter. You can actually run out of fuel with this airplane. So say you just take out the first 2 vans, okay? You've been doing good. The 3rd van, the final one, you spook him. You've got to fly around a little bit trying to shoot him and blow him up. Well, you can blow him up, but the mission's not going to be over yet. If you run out of fuel, well, guess what? Your airplane blows up, you run out of fuel, and you have to restart the whole thing. So it's very rage-inducing. Most of these missions on this list are actually supposed to be very simple, but there's always one sort of thing somewhere in there, some game mechanic, that messes it up and makes it very, very, very difficult. So with that said, that's actually my list of the 5 hardest missions in GTA San Andreas. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see me turn it into a series, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If we could break 2,000 likes, I promise we will do that. We'll cover Vice City next and do the 5 hardest missions in that game. And then we'll just cover every other Grand Theft Auto game. So, if you guys do enjoy as well, be sure to subscribe, turn on notifications. That way you never miss out on another daily video game upload. And with that said, my name is Zach Cox. Thank you all for stopping by, and I will see you all in the next video.